Now, the trade rumors are swirling around the former first overall pick, so we've teed up a few trade scenarios to look at and see which team would say no to the deal. And Robin, let's start with a possible trade between the Sixers and the Cavs. Markelle Fultz and Wilson Chandler to Cleveland for Kyle Korver and Tristan Thompson. Who says no?
I don't think anyone says no. This is a good trade to me. The Cavs are moving in this deal players that aren't part of their future to get a flyer on Markelle Fultz. Meanwhile, the Sixers are getting guys who can help them right now. They need shooting. Kyle Korver, of course, a shooter. Tristan Thompson has had a very good season this year quietly for the Cavs, and it would lead to a lot of confusion for the Kardashian family and the fans who are against the Kardashian family in Philadelphia. I think it helps their team now. They'd still have to address a wing, but overall a good trade for both teams.
All roads lead back to the Kardashians. It's amazing. I say the Cavs say no here, unless they completely believe in Fultz and what he's going to become, because I think Korver and Thompson actually have more value to Cleveland if they're traded separately. I think they'll be very valuable to a contending team. A guy like Korver who can shoot. A team down the stretch needs a player like him. And Thompson's having a great year. He had huge value. I don't think getting Fultz and Wilson Chandler is enough for Cleveland. I think they'd say no.
I think you just convinced me. You're right. I'm wrong. Trade number 2, Markelle Fultz and Mike Muscala for Josh Jackson and Dragan Bender. Who says no here?
I think the Suns say no, but how many first-round busts can you have in one deal? I'm seeing maybe 3 of them in that trade there. I think Josh Jackson still has some value. He is a defensive player. His defensive game is stepping up quite a bit this season. His shooting game's coming along a little bit. Bender's still an unknown with the injuries. They don't know what they're getting there. I don't think the Suns really go for this. Muscala, 6th season. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't score, doesn't rebound, doesn't add a whole lot to value in that trade.
I think the Sixers actually say no because they think they can get something back that helps them more than Jackson, who just really hasn't been very good either. It's kind of trading here's a guy we drafted, we thought could be something, for here's a guy you drafted, you thought could be something. And I would imagine Philadelphia, considering the core of their roster right now, wants to bring in somebody who's going to help them.
Yeah, you talk about the Suns guys. I mean, 2 guys who were drafted 4th, one in 16, one in 17, still have not panned out. A lot of those guys sprinkled around the league right now.
All right, next we got a blockbuster trade. Bradley Beal, Markelle Fultz, Wilson Chandler, J.R. Smith, and 2 first-round picks to the Washington Wizards in exchange for Bradley Beal going to the Philadelphia 76ers.
Yeah, here's the problem. I say the Wizards say no because on the short term, the Wizards get worse in that deal, okay? The long term, they don't improve. They don't get the draft picks they really need, and those are lottery picks. Those Sixers picks are going to be back-ended in the first round of the draft. You also end up with a crowded backcourt. You know, Beal works because he's a shooter alongside John Wall. Where does Markelle Fultz fit in? He can't shoot. He can't put the ball in the ocean if he's standing on the beach, Robin. That does not work from an X's and O's standpoint. I think the Wizards say no.
I think that, yeah, the Wizards say no here because Bradley Beal, you can get more back as a one piece in a trade. You know, when you're trading somebody of his caliber, it sounds good to hear 2 first-round picks. But if Philadelphia is getting Bradley Beal, where are those first-round picks going to be? I mean, you put Bradley Beal next to Jimmy Butler, next to Ben Simmons, next to Joel Embiid, you're talking about a Warriors-level talented team. And Markelle Fultz is still totally unproven, the whole premise of this discussion. So if I'm shopping Bradley Beal and I'm the Washington Wizards, I want to make sure the number 1 piece of any trade I get back, I feel better about than the number 1 piece they would be getting in this deal with Philadelphia.
Yeah, Beal's got to go to a team that's struggling but looking to make some kind of statement, get their fan base interested. They send him there, you're probably getting a top 10 pick coming back. But you're talking right, 26, 27, 28th picks in the draft, maybe?
Even like a Brandon Ingram, right, who hasn't exactly panned out for Los Angeles, but has higher upside potential, I think, at this point. Could be a better building block for a trade if you're the Washington Wizards. Or, you know, what we've been hearing, they're asking for a lot for Bradley Beal, who's a really good player, by the way.